it is time to finally settle the score. Us, a couple of white passing, ethnically ambiguous. I think I'm more white than you. What do you think?
I think I'm white. Like, I'm super white, you know? But I guess white people don't consider me white. Like, and
white
Twitch
people
doesn't
don't-
consider me white. That's
Right.
what we found out. Twitch was like,
Well, that's what I'm saying. Can a
you
white
don't got
person
the cracker
call
pass. What?
Because can a black person say the N-word on Twitch?
Yeah.
Oh, well, what the then?
Well, first of all,
Or you can't call someone else.
I don't know if a black person could call another black person the N-word with a hard R.
Okay, I get that.
I don't exactly know what the TOS, how the TOS would land on that.
Got it.
It is kind of funny though, because like things like this have happened, and mostly white chatters have endlessly pontificated on like black content creators that they normally don't even watch using the N-word against other black content creators that they also don't watch.
Got it.
So it's just like white Redditors absolutely love, especially if you're like a debate lord, you fucking love discussing the N-word and you love discussing cracker, all this sort of stuff. That's the reason why it's such a big deal here. But I personally thought I was white.
So you're white. I guess I'm white in the same way. Like if you ask a white supremacist, they would say, "No, you're not white." You know.
Yeah, depending on who you're talking to. Yeah, for sure.
But okay, here we go. Redneck. That's kind of an iconic phrase, often frequently used. I mean, a redneck. I mean, it's
so what are
pretty
we ranking on?
Offensiveness.
Oh, offensiveness?
Yeah.
I mean, that's a
Let's bring up
an
redneck.
F, no?
I mean, well, if redneck's not an okay, S. I guess are we saying if S? Are we doing this in a vacuum, or is S like the N-word equivalent? Do you know what I'm saying? Dan, what do you think? Should we do this like in its own vacuum? Or should we say, well, the N-word is obviously S tier slur.
Right, but I mean, as far as white slurs go, I mean, that's a good question. Should it be
because then they'd all be F
in the eyes of Twitch? Right, exactly.
I think it should be in a vacuum where we're looking at it just in terms of. So you're saying redneck is F?
I mean, redneck is one that has been adopted by Southerners. They use it regularly on themselves.
I'm a redneck.
Like, yeah.
How do you know you're a redneck?
Yeah.
Because you make a.
The history of redneck also is really interesting because it links back to one of the largest like labor uprisings in the country, in Appalachia. So it's more so a classist term, which we of course completely.
But black people don't
accept.
get rednecks.
Yeah, no. I'm saying that like, well, the thing is, you don't really have a term against white people that like blanket applies to all white people. You know what I mean? You always have to add like specific qualifiers. Even cracker, depending on what you're working with, is like a whip cracker, right? And redneck is still a class as one. Hillbilly. These are poor white people. They're not like, there isn't really one that.
Yeah, I mean,
all white people that appeals to all white people, applies to all white people.
These are mostly about poor white people. I wonder if we could have one like Predator or something for like the Harvey Weinsteins of the world.
Well, that's not white specific,
right?
though.
It's not. Okay, so redneck, I guess we're gonna put it in like maybe a D. Like you redneck. Damn.
I mean, there's a lot of people out there that are like, I'm a redneck and proud too.
I'm
so
a proud
it really does
redneck.
feel pretty.
Well, if we put this at
pretty
F,
low.
I'm afraid where everything's going to be down here.
Well, that might just be the way it goes.
I'm going to put it up. You say F. I'm going to put it at D. We're going to compromise a little bit.
Okay.
I mean, I would not be offended by you calling a redneck at all.
I love rednecks.
All right, so let's put it to F. A fish belly.
I don't know what this is.
A fish belly? You want to give us some intel on this, Ian?
This was a Dan submission, actually.
Is Ian and Dan our white whisperers?
they help
Like
put this together. I'm assuming
These are
they
just
can
like
help us on the
these are some
etymology.
these are some deep cuts. Some of these.
We're too cracker adjacent. We had to go to Ian and Dan.
Yeah, I'm not a true.
Consult with us, yeah.
Like
the true
I feel like
crackers here.
Sam's a real whitey, Ian. Maybe she can help us.
Again, I was the one that submitted fish belly, and
By the way, is whitey in here? Oh, yeah, it is good.
Yeah, white, of course. It's kind of just a deep cut. I don't think people even really
What
use
is it?
it.
I guess I would be
It's
a
like an
fish
old-
belly. I'm like a beer belly.
Right. Well, I think it's in reference to the belly of a fish being pale.
All right, that's an F.
Yeah.
You fish belly. You damn fish belly.
I feel like a lot of this is just like shit that white people came up with for other white people.
Total. I mean,
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Pale
probably.
face. I mean, what context
Ooh,
is that one?
I like that.
You pale faced. You
It's a
damn.
good one.
I don't know what that. Use that in a
You
word
fucking-
that's offensive. Ian.
You fucking pale face motherfucker.
I mean, yeah, okay, pale face. You pale. I mean, I've never heard it. I don't think it's offensive.
A lot of these, we're teaching people. This is the educational hour. Here are some new ways to oppress white people.
Yeah, pale face. I mean, again, I think that's an F. I'm just being honest. Hog.
So hog is my favorite. I use it all the time, but I feel like it's not even just white people. Like you can. It's mostly white people, but hog just means like conservative. So
Just a hog.
that's a F too. Well, this
Yeah, I
is
think
gonna.
it's an F.
A lot of this is gonna be in the F category. I feel
All
like.
right, here now we're heating up. Cracker.
I mean, you know what my take is.
We can't put this as an F. It has some context. It has some history
Yeah.
of usage. Cracker. I mean, that's got to be at least a D, right?
Okay. I mean, if you say so. I think. I guess it's like. I guess it's higher. Yeah. It's definitely
gotta
higher than
be
like
higher than
redneck.
fish belly.
Yeah. It's a little bit higher than that for sure.
Yeah, cracker.
It has the capacity for like people to be legitimately offended by it, even if they're in the margins. You know what I mean? Like
Cracker.
someone could be like, "Oh, well, that's really fucking mean. That hurts my feelings." Like I can see that.
I think that should be a C, a cracker.
Okay.
It has some potential.
Okay.
And then you've got hillbilly, which is, a classic, another classic. You hillbilly. I don't think it's offensive though. You damn hillbilly.
It just still means like poor white person, uneducated poor white person, right?
I guess.
Yeah. Do people? We need a white person.
Yeah.
Like, we need
Sam,
like a
Sam or Ian.
Yeah, and not like us. Not like us. We need like
Oh,
an
I know.
Anglo.
Ian, Ian, tell us what this shit means.
Well, you know what hillbilly means.
It's a hillbilly.
Yeah,
No, I know, but like I need to judge the severity of this by like staring at the face of a wasp man who is like, this is it. You know what I mean?
I mean,
Ian, you're a damn hillbilly.
Ian is the waspiest one here. For
Ian,
sure.
are you a
We
hillbilly?
look identical, bro.
Yeah, but you're
You're
English.
like
You're
English.
literally English.
Yeah.
We have the same face.
I'm half Jewish. I've got at least a little bit.
He's
of,
right, Ian. You're
Yeah.
wasp as fuck.
No, we're the same guy. Come on, the same guy right here. Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
No, even then, I'm not buying it.
Benjamin Franklin would want only one of you in the country,
Right. Yeah.
and that's Ian. He
Yeah.
would want Ian in there. None of that.
Are you half English and then half what? What's the other half, Ian?
Well, if I'm English, then hillbilly wouldn't apply to me, right? Are there hillbilly English people?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean,
when you live, you're not English anymore.
Yeah,
You know?
you're an
Oh, yeah.
accent.
He's first generation, though.
Look at him running away from the slur. By the way, that means it's more
I
severe.
am starting to panic, so it might be a B.
Yeah.
No,
A hillbilly? Wait,
he's-
what's your other half, Ian?
just English and American.
Okay. So you're diluted a little bit. Your white purity is that question. Who knows what's in that American half? Okay, well, hillbilly is not doing much. I'll put it at a D maybe, just because
I think
it's actually a word.
all of these, by the way, I feel like if you're a white person, and I did see this in the chat because I am reading chat. I'm getting my chat fixed right now.
Uh-oh.
Let me
secretly.
open chat because I'm not reading chat.
Okay.
Hassan, should I make you a mod so you can ban people?
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Yeah,
but
you can mod.
But I'm Daniel on here, so
Oh, you got mod power then.
Yeah.
Go for it.
so people were
Use
saying
that
like a
question.
lot of these words would hurt me, hurt my feelings from a class point of view. Like it would just like make fun of me for being poor rather than make me feel bad because I'm white. And that's what
Right,
I've
true.
heard.
Yeah,
and that's
hillbilly
true.
does
That
have
is
that.
literally what this is.
I guess, yeah. I mean, but okay. Well,
I think hillbilly, to me, hillbilly is probably around the same as cracker, I guess.
all right, you hillbilly.
I disagree. I think cracker should be D or F personally.
I
but-
think
but we've
cracker's
already
worse
moved
than
on.
hillbilly.
Really?
I do.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on. Hick. I mean, hick's pretty good, right? You hick. You damn hick.
Not really. I mean, like a lot of these have like personal adoptions. You know what I mean? Like I feel like I can see a white person be like, yeah, I'm a hick, whatever. You know what I mean?
I'm a hick.
But I can't
So
see that
what?
for cracker, for example.
I'm a cracker. That's true.
But
So
I can see it for hillbilly. I can see it for hick. I'm going to go with a D.
Identity.
Yeah.
Because white people generally wouldn't call it themselves cracker, which maybe makes it worse. That's a good observation. So we're going to move hick down to a D. I'm a hick, so what? Let's go down to the pig farm now and shoot off some guns. Ooh, sweet. Come on now.
Yeah.
Honky?
I don't even, like, I want to know the etymology of these words. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
I don't.
Honky sounds bad. It definitely does.
Really?
You don't think it sounds bad?
I think, let's see, what does honky mean?
Because honky is like closest to all white people.
Wait.
You know what I mean?
Oh, a derogatory term used by black people for white people or white people collectively. Ya honky?
Yeah.
It's a 20th century term for immigrant from Central or Eastern Europe.
Only dates back to 1946.
From Bo Honk, apparently. So there you go.
Exact word.
Honky is a 1971 movie based on an interracial relationship as well. Honky Tonk is also a 1974 Western
Honky
film.
Tonk.
Yeah. Honky Tonk Man.
Honky. I mean, the thing is, if somebody called me a honky, I would probably just laugh.
Yeah, no. I mean, all of these are.
I think cracker, I'm putting honky.
Honky and cracker would be. Oh, you think honky's less
because
than cracker?
at least I would know what they're saying. If someone was like, called me a honky, I'd be like, what the fuck?
I mean, every single one of these is laughable.
I'm trying to do the best with what I've got here.
Well, this is only exposing that you and I are not pure. Like, we are not pure white. The Nazis on Twitter were right to tell me that I was not actually
That's what
white.
I always joke, though. I go, I'm like white, but nobody wants me as part of their group.
I feel the same way.
Yeah. Well, okay, if you think I don't know anything, then you tell me this one's not a racist. A cumskin.
Cumskin is hilarious.
I had never heard that one before.
That's awesome.
What the fuck is cumskin?
I mean, a lot of these are new. Like,
I mean, I know it.
like there's some on here that are not on here. I can't see at least, like Mayo Monkey, Vanilla Gorilla. Like these are words that like black Twitterers come up with to utilize like all of the racist shit that white people have said about black people. They flipped it and basically like tied it back to whiteness. So they're too new for people to like recognize and get upset at. And I think cumskin is another one of those.
Cumskin. It's so vulgar, but I mean,
Pretty
again,
funny.
if somebody said cumskin, I would just be flabbergasted. I mean, I would be amused and just like, what?
Yeah.
So I don't know. Cumskin is pretty funny. You know,
I mean, if you're saying that it's just funny, it sounds
is that
like it's
that
an
must be
F.
someone who's really pale though? Because I feel like we're not cumskin.
Dude, I'm pale as fuck. I don't know what you're talking about. Am
No,
I
but
not?
like there's whiter people, like real whiteys.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't think you're a cumskin, bro.
Okay. Well, oh, bummer.
Yeah, I'm gonna put cumskin with cracker, I guess, because
Okay.
I guess the intention there is to offend.
Okay, we
right?
got Peckerwood coming up.
Yeah, Peckerwood, and again, is that a white slur? I feel like it's just
Oh, yeah, no, it definitely is.
It is?
Isn't
Okay.
it like,
Peckerwood, a white person, especially a poor one. See, there
like
you
it's
go.
actually, that one is, I think that is actually in the ADL database, I think.
Oh.
Like that came up, yeah. The word peckerwood originated as an African American slang term for woodpecker in the 1800s, but by the early 1900s began to be applied as a racial epithet against whites with a meaning similar to the term white trash. Once again, not just specifically white, but like also white trash.
Or-
it's classist. It has
That's
to be
real-
tied with something else on
That's
top of
real
it.
Right.
interesting.
Yeah.
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 All of these.
Sean Pecker.
They're all basically, like you said, based on class.
Yeah, because whiteness is a concept that was created around purity, racial purity, and also it means it's a concept of dominance. So like having a term against white people as a whole without like adding any sort of modifiers onto it is just going to always fall short.
It doesn't mean it.
doesn't mean anything.
It's no fun.
Yeah, it's like okay, yeah, and even when you add additional modifiers, it still doesn't it still doesn't hit as hard as any other fucking term. But but that is something that you have to add on. That's why a lot of these slurs are actually poor white person, uneducated white person,
Right.
white trash. Like
Right.
that's
It's
that's
the
what I
class-
always say. Is like
it's
you
the
have
class
to
drive.
Yeah, you get white people are oppressed by virtue of class, but not by virtue of simply being white.
So how about
Here's actually another important wrinkle that I just discovered is that apparently Peckerwood was commonly applied to white prisoners in general.
Yeah.
And there were Peckerwood gangs that kind of came out of that, and that is actually what evolved into the Aryan Brotherhood.
Yeah, it's the racist prison
wait,
gangs.
the
Right.
Aryan Brotherhood are the original Peckers? Peckerwood?
Peckerwoods. Yeah, evidently.
Yeah.
I
So
always
maybe
thought-
that one does have a little bit of weight, you know?
Okay, so call it next white supremacist you meet, call him a Peckerwood.
Yeah.
I always thought it was a penis joke. I thought it was just calling him. They said they had a little weeby.
No, no, no,
Peckerwood.
no. I've heard that one before. It's
All right, so-
definitely
so
it's definitely
Peckerwood we
just like
like.
racist white person that's poor.
So are we gonna put it at C because of the white supremacy thing, or do you think maybe a D? I mean, yeah, sounds like it's got a little weight to it, right?
Yeah, there's like white people with like if you see a white person with a Peckerwood tattoo, it means they're probably in a prison gang. Like they were in a racist prison gang.
Wow.
Yeah, there's images of
I'm
it
staying
on the
away
ADL
from the
website.
Peckerwoods. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
White trash. That's a good one. White trash is a good one. But again, class.
Yeah. White trash again, poor uneducated white person.
Let's put that in C. You know, then here's a real good one. Okay, colonizer.
That's a TikTok one. People love saying white people are colonizers.
That's an interesting one.
It's so funny because
So if somebody called me a colonizer, I might get defensive. You know, they'd be like, what the fuck you saying to me? I didn't colonize shit. I wasn't even here during the colonization.
it's funny when it's like launched
Better-
towards like
yeah.
Irish people too. It's just like it's a catch-all term. I think it's funny. It's too new. I feel like for its application to be.
colonizer. I feel like it would really offend some people though, like
Oh, for
people who
sure.
are like real patriots. I ain't colonized shit.
I guess. Yeah.
I feel like this could offend some people in terms of I wouldn't even maybe put that B tier because I feel like if you start running around calling white people colonizers, you will offend people.
I can see that, especially because, like, I mean, we are all beneficiaries of American colonization, American imperialism.
Damn right.
It's just that's a real, true thing. But even those who have been historically colonized that have lived here for multiple generations also fall under that category. So it's like it's a unique situation.
What do you think about colonizer? You agree with that, Dan? I feel like that's a pretty good one.
Yeah.
More offensive than cracker, though.
Yeah, see, that's
I
the
do.
thing is
I do think so, but what do you think?
No shot. No.
See, in colonizer, because the slur itself is like sort of referring to a specific history, it seems less slurry to me. You know what I mean? Like,
I'm telling you though, if you want to go offend someone, I feel like calling people colonizer might be the best way.
I
Because
guess.
cracker,
But I
white
don't know if
trash-
that really strikes, like you said, Ethan, it kind of strikes at their patriotic side more than
If
their
you
like
just- okay,
ethnic identity side.
Here's what we need to do. Imagine you're talking to Tucker Carlson. How offended would he be if you called him one of these words? I think that's a good mental practice. If you called Tucker,
Oh, he would cry. He would cry, piss and shit his pants on all of them, though. I think.
Call the police immediately.
Yeah.
He actually would.
He
Fish
would.
belly, he'd be like S tier.
Yeah.
Pale face, S tier.
Many people are calling me a colonizer.
Many
And that
people,
is way worse than the N-word, which you should be able to say.
many people have been calling me fish belly. I think that's super offensive. And don't we care about white people anymore in this country?
Yeah.
Colonizer. I think he would be most pissed by colonizer. All right, we got to move on. You guys like it in B or should I move it down?
I have no feeling on colonizer because, like, we are colonizers. You know what I mean? Like, we are...
And that's
You're
what I
too
kind of
woke.
mean too. Is it's sort of
You're too woke, bro. You
sort-
got to think about Tucker. What Tucker would feel.
I
about
mean,
this.
I think Tucker would just get mad regardless.
yeah, exactly. That's
So it's
that's
just-
too high or too low.
All right,
of a
so you
bar.
guys think it should move down? Where do you want it?
It's a weird one. I see that the chat is very torn on this one too. There's a
I
lot
think
of back and
colonizer
forth.
is a great one. I think y'all are tripping.
I've
Yeah.
seen some chat get a little defensive too.
Oh,
About
arguing
what?
About it.
Wait,
Like,
people are getting mad about it?
yeah, I've seen a
There
couple,
you
so
go.
it
You
might
see,
be
that's
effective.
proof.
Yeah, there's people who are like saying it's not a big deal, but then there's a lot of people who are saying like, no, this is the worst thing. This is the worst thing that I've seen so far.
Here, let's do a vote. Can you put it to a vote, Dan?
like a poll?
Yeah, and do like, is it? Yeah.
Well, I think you know what. Okay, here's a here's a qualifier.
Do you like F?
I think Colonizer is worse than these other ones because, well, there's an element of truth to it. Okay, so
That's good.
that makes it worse.
That's powerful. Yeah.
Right? And also, you don't have to literally be like a racist person to be called a colonizer, and I think that's why it's like an closest to a catch-all term.
It's very
Automatically.
and I think a lot of people would get very defensive too.
Yeah.
It brings up a lot. I like colonizer for a white slur.
I can see that.
I like it.
So-
and not
I'm-
even in America. I mean, white people are traditionally colonizers, so you can even take that all the way back to the English Empire.
Oh yeah.
And hit them hard all the way back.
So YouTube poll limits you to 4 options.
Yeah. So do F
But would you ban
C,
someone for calling
B,
a white person a colonizer?
and A.
Ridiculous, obviously, right?
Of course not.
Yeah, okay. Because
course
again,
not.
the power is in the hands of the colonizer.
It would
Like,
be insane.
You're not like dehumanizing them for
You
calling-
colonizer. Twitch banned
Yeah.
me. Yeah. No. Of course.
I'll
not.
do
Yeah.
I'll do S, B, C, F to kind of run the gamut here.
Or maybe S. People will vote S. I'm afraid if we include S. It's not S tier. It might be actually.
So A, B, C, F.
A, B, C, F. Yeah.
Okay.
Like my background is from an imperialist power. I'm Turkish. So like
You're
we
too woke,
100% did not colonialism, but imperialism. Like the Ottoman Empire absolutely engaged in that. So, slavery, all the fun stuff that comes along with that.
Okay. The
we
votes are
engaged
coming in, guys.
All right. It looks like B has an early lead. So
B is dominating.
I see that.
With okay, well, it's shaking out a little bit. Get your votes in, guys. Get your votes in. We're liking B. 6,000 votes in. It looks like a strong B result there.
Yeah. I mean, there's a bit of a spread. But
Okay, so we have our new champion of white slurs, Colonizer.
Okay.
Okay, this is a good one. I'm just going to bring out the good ones because, like, snow possum, I mean,
That's great.
that. All right,
But
I'll
those
just
are
put-
so creative and funny that
Okay,
it's
snow
like
possum, F. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just funny because it's like, I feel like ones that refer to the color of your skin are pretty funny because it doesn't even, like the ones that try to target just a quality of whiteness as a catch-all term are somehow less severe than like a direct action associated with whiteness because it's just like they're saying you have pale skin. And historically, as a consequence of both colonialism and also colonization, and also on top of that, even like a classist reasoning for it in like Asian cultures and Asian countries, saying that you have pale skin it just doesn't hit as hard. Do you see what I'm saying?
Well,
Even
yeah,
though
I
that
mean,
is quite literally the one way that you can target racially a white person.
Well, in a lot of southeastern countries, correct me if I'm wrong, they like bleach their skin or to make
There's
themselves
two different
more-
reasons for that.
more
One is
fair.
because of obviously imperialism and colonization, but also it is even before that it predates it. In like China, for example, it has been a part of Chinese culture as a consequence of classist attitudes. The fairer your skin, the further removed you are from the field.
Right, sure.
Like the Marlboro man, they tried to like mimic that exact same cowboy in China originally with like a darker skinned
Oh, they're like,
Chinese
"Who is
man
this
smoking a
peasant?"
cigarette, like he's rugged, and it actually hurt their sales because everyone was like, "What the fuck? We don't want this peasant telling us
Right.
to smoke a cigarette," because fair skin is still associated with like aristocracy, and that actually has everything to do with classism again, and not necessarily colonialism.
Okay, so snow possum, mayo, I think is F. I mean, what the fuck? I'm just getting rid of the obvious ones. Pink dick, I mean, pink dick,
that one I think actually came from Bobby Lee.
pink dick.
Pink dick.
Yeah, he calls his producer George Pink Dick all the time.
That's
This is
fine.
why depression.
White people is gonna be F. I'm sorry, block Twitter. White people.
Why people? Yeah. That one is fucking annoying. I don't like that one, and I don't like YT. Like, instead of saying YD, like, Black Twitter will write, like, Y and T as a substitute for Whitey. And it just looks, it's lame. Like, it's
Yeah,
not.
white people. It's just
It doesn't have, like, oomph to it. You know what I mean?
Yakubian, I'm sorry again. It's a little,
I love
that's
Yakubian.
fucking like deep anime lore. I don't know. That's like a fucking
Oh, dude, I'll show you some videos after this. It is straight up. There is an anime.
a Yakubian.
Yeah, there is an
sick.
anime. Yeah, there's like a Nation of Islam anime about the oranges or the origins of like white people being created.
I guess it is offensive, but I don't think anyone knows what it means. I guess Yakubian is like white
Yeah.
demon, but whatever.
Yeah, we're kind of fucking it up for a lot of people, including myself. I love using that term regularly.
Yakubian.
Yeah, I use.
Should
it
I
all the
move it
time.
up?
No. Just let's keep it in an F tier.
Really? Maybe
nobody
I should
knows.
move it up. Maybe I should be moving it
No,
up.
don't do that. Don't do that.
No.
Yakubian.
You're taking away all the fun.
It's too deep lore. Right? It does nothing.
Yeah.
Okay, so here we got some really good ones. Milk demon. Again, I'm going to put that F. Sorry.
Okay.
All right, now we're getting to the really good ones. White devil. White devil.
You think it's a B?
I'm just putting it there as a placeholder, just so we can debate it.
Okay, you're
I'm just putting it here so we can see what's up next. White devil. I like white devil. Not only do I think it's funny, but it's also
True.
yeah, it's true. I mean, white people are the devil generally, right? White
wow.
devil.
You are so racist against whites, dude.
I'm self-hating.
They're truly oppressed.
People.
Ian and Dan, do you guys feel hostile?
White devil.
We gotta refer to them, dude. We gotta let the whites talk here.
I'm trying, but they're keeping the mums of the word over here. They're afraid of getting buried.
Yeah.
Ian over there is the white. He's the white.
What's going on? Are you guys worried you're betraying your race or something?
Yeah.
What's happening?
Race traitors. I mean, I think white devil is good. I mean, if somebody called me a white devil, I would be taken aback because it's like it's so. I would. It's just like what? I mean,
That one would tickle me. I mean, it's just
it's like it's a lot. It's a lot. The white devil.
There's a lot of really good ones that are not on here. Like I said, Vanilla Gorilla is another one. Snow Roach.
I mean, those are F.
Those are. There's Children of the Chalk. No purpose. Yeah,
Children
no
of the Chalk
purpose.
is
No
great.
purpose flower.
no purpose.
What the fuck is that?
It's just like I'm just shouts out to 39 Death, a friend of mine. They were like going through some of their favorite white slurs.
What the fuck does that mean though? A flower.
It's just that it's saying
purpose?
white people have no purpose. No
it's
purpose
normally
flower,
all-purpose
flour is
flour.
white.
Oh.
Yeah.
Play on all-purpose flour instead of no-purpose flour. And
Yeah.
this flour is white.
Sorry. Shout out to your friend, but
Yeah.
I think it's clever.
That's pretty good. I think Children of the Chalk is great.
well, I like white devil. I mean, Ian, if I just came up to you every day and I was like, "What's up, white devil?" I mean, that's pretty offensive.
If you did that every day,
Repetitively, I would call you in the evening and say, "Hey, white devil, just a reminder you're a colonizer." Bye.
Okay,
mean,
but that's the repetition that's annoying at that point. You know what I mean?
All right, you go. Okay, Tucker Carlson, you go on his show and you call him a white devil. His head explodes.
For sure.
Yeah.
His head does explode on that one.
Like,
that'd be so sweet.
You got
Someone
to
should do that.
admit that Tucker, of all these, probably would be most offended by white devil.
I feel like he would have an aneurysm on the spot. Like
Yeah.
his nose would start bleeding. Like, that'd be so sick.
So I liking it. Anyone got any opinion here? I need some help on this one.
I
dig
don't.
it.
I don't find it offensive at all. But
Yeah, well, you're not even pure, so shh.
Yeah.
So who are you?
yeah, fair enough.
I think it's in a good placement.
You think it's up there in B?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I do.
I would
Wait,
even
this is a safe space. Does any of this
Well, it
actually
could be
impact
C.
you? Do you feel like you would be offended by any of this?
Me? No.
Zach's Jewish.
I'm
He
a
doesn't
Jew.
give
I'm
a
full
shit.
Jew.
Yeah, he doesn't give a
He's
fuck.
full shit.
I'm Yuden.
Nobody here.
What about Ian?
I mean, I think I'd make a recovery with most of these.
Ian put this together.
Wow, you're making him do emotional labor. You're making
It was his idea.
I mean, not that
blaming it on the white guy.
Yeah. Not that this would even, not that this one really even gets to me either, but having grown up in Los Angeles at a school that was predominantly, Latino students, there was a lot of like jokingly using terms like whitey and cracker, but it genuinely was, it didn't have the same impact or oomph. I'd say the most common one I probably got called growing up is just white boy.
Yeah,
White boy?
I
Oh,
got,
white boy.
I got that a lot.
Yeah.
Just
we
being
never-
called white
that's-
boy.
That should be on here.
And another one.
But that'd offend you.
and another
Dan?
one for
Not
LA
really.
too.
I mean,
You say not really. That makes me think D.
well, it's somebody. It's kind of like what Hasan was saying at the beginning. It's like when somebody's calling you names aggressively, you know, it hurts your feelings
Matters.
in a way. But
Yeah.
I don't think the racial component is just not there for a white kid growing up.
I agree.
You know what? It sucks though. You know what sucks though is someone who has been called a lot of these words, especially by fandoms on the internet. The only part of it that sucks is that like the automatic qualifier that like even despite the fact that you yourself are not racist in any capacity whatsoever, and you're anti-racist and all this stuff, that the automatic assumption is that you are racist. So I
white
do
devil.
identify with that. I do understand why white people get upset at it. Like I do understand why whenever someone's like, "Oh, shut up, white boy," you're like, "Well, that's kind of sucks." Like,
Yeah.
because I do understand it, not to the same degree of like experiencing it personally. That's something that I'll never understand. But the inverse of that is true as well, where I recognize where that person is coming from experiencing racism so much, both through the systems and reinforced through all of our cultural analysis, all throughout media and shit like that. So I do get it. One thing I wanted to mention that is not on this list that definitely should have been on this list, I think, is gringo.
Gringo.
You
Gringo
guys
is
gotta
like-
add
That
gringo
was an
and white
oversight.
boy.
I because you're already editing it, I don't think
Can I reload the list? If
But then it'll fuck up like all of our placements.
Yeah, fuck that.
oh, it will.
Yeah, so
I don't. Well, I would
I mean, we
put
can just
gringo as
rate
an
it.
F. To be honest, I
think so?
Been in Mexico. My parents live there. They don't use the word in a derogatory way. It just means like
It's like
a white
Yankee,
dude.
which also isn't on this list, but like that is
Yankee?
another Yankee. Turks used to say "Go home, Yankee" to Americans.
That's
like
so weird that they use
but
that.
that's
'cause
like
what the-
American specific, right?
that's
Not
what the
necessarily
fucking-
white.
Kind of,
Confederate used as like a
yeah.
slur. I mean,
Yeah, but I think it's still like internationally, it's considered like in certain places, it's considered to be like anti-white, I guess, or anti-American, but anti-white for the most part.
I don't think Yankee is as an F, and I think gringo's an F too.
So gringo, the reason why I mention it is because like places where it's used,
Gringo.
places where it's used, usually white people are in the minority.
Yeah.
And from what I understand, because I've been polling all of my white friends, and I have a lot of them. I myself am white as well, but I want to understand it a little bit better. And that's the one that, especially white friends of mine that have worked with like Latin American coworkers in like kitchens and shit like that. That's the one where they were like, "That's it." That's the one that actually does upset me when they call him like a pinche gringo.
I think it depends how
gringo.
you say it, but like I
Pinche
see,
güero is the other one.
Oh
that I
yeah,
used to
yeah,
get called all
güero
the
as
time,
well.
too.
Which
I think people are just saying gringo just means white American. It isn't.
Yeah.
So I think it really depends how they say it. You know.
Yeah.
Because you can say it like you fucking gringo, right?
I mean,
Yeah.
when I
But-
worked
but
in a
in
restaurant,
Mexico-
they pretty much exclusively called me güero.
yeah, but
Like, they
güero is
wouldn't use my
actually a
name.
positive too.
Seems like the
Right. It's yeah. And again, I never really took offense to it.
Because white supremacy and post-colonial countries, there's a lot of white Mexicans and or white passing Mexicans. So güero, from what I understand, is actually seen as like a term of positivity if being used against other Mexicans.
From what I'm polling here, the Mexicans in the chat are saying gringo is not offensive.
Yeah, and a lot of people saying güero is endearing.
Oh,
Yeah.
really? It really just depends
but
how you
other
say
people
it.
are saying the opposite. So yeah, I mean, I guess it just kind of it just
For me,
depends
it's
on
an
the
F.
context.
I'm gonna put white devil C. Okay, then the instant S is obviously Karen.
That one's actually
That one has the
actually is
history.
offensive.
That one has the history of oppression, and
Yeah.
as
White women are fucking terrified, okay, of going to a CVS and calling the manager because they're going to get called Karen and it's going to be filmed and all of a sudden they're fucking famous, okay? You are denying white women of a God-given, constitutionally protected right that America has afforded them, which is to be able to call the fucking manager.
Yeah.
It's
I
crazy.
heard someone say about Karen, they say, Karen is the, I think it was the quartering, actually. He goes, all these people are just following around white women everywhere they go, recording them everywhere they go, just hoping they slip up so they can call them Karen.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck?
No quartering. That's a self-report. You're following women around. You fucking creeper.
That's true. So Karen's S tier,
Christ.
obviously. The white women have never recovered since Karen became a thing. And then Whitey, let's just as an interest moving on, let's put that as C.
Okay.
All right, there you have it, guys. So Colonizer, I think, turns out to be the most offensive, potentially, thing to call a white person. So the more you know.
I don't think any of these deserve. I don't think any of these are ban-worthy, but I do understand the.
None of them are ban-worthy.
But I do understand the difficult predicament that Twitch gets faced with when there's a lot of backlash, because like they can't be taking a hardline stance.
I can
on,
restart it. Sorry to cut you off.
They can't be taking a hardline stance on like, yeah, you can be racist towards white people, because like that's not going to look good. And plus, on top of that, as like large content creators, someone like myself, I recognize that like if I was just fucking constantly like, you should be able to say it, you should be able to say it, that's a little bit different than me saying it's not ban worthy. Do you know what I mean? Because my argument is like, yeah, don't hurt people's feelings if they don't deserve it, right? Because I do like making jokes. I do sometimes end up making jokes that hurt people's feelings, for sure. As I was describing to you before, comedy is about punching. You can either punch up, you can punch down. In some unique instances, you can punch forward, but there's always a punch. And the people that cry about, white identity politics, or the people that like say you can't do this, are trying to eliminate another way that we could just make jokes. If it's the oppressor category, you should be able to make jokes about that. Why are you taking this away? I, as a white person, would be able to I would like to still make, white people jokes. It's like, it's just so, it's always weird too, because there's always the people who are like, what, I can't be racist? Like, you're fucking destroying comedy, that fucking then cry about this shit. It's annoying.
Exactly. Listen, what do you think about women who are born Karen? I mean, do we need to worry about them, or is they just casualties of war?
Yeah. They just can't do anything about it.
Yeah, but ultimately, I get it. it can be offensive, but at the end of
When
the
you
day,
said that, I thought you
it is
meant
what
like
it
people
is.
that are born to call the manager. I didn't even think that. Like,
there are people who their name predates the Karen phenomenon.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, I guess you can always change your name. I mean, that's
GG's.
an option.
Wow.
But yeah, look, there's always casualties in war. I mean, it's friendly fire, and that's just, there's a certain amount of friendly fire that happens in every war, and rip to all Karens everywhere. By the way, there ain't no new white babies being called Karen.
I wonder if it dropped off.
I think I actually
had
saw
to.
that it was like the biggest drop off ever in
No,
baby
ain't
names.
no new Karens, boy. We
what
killed
they
that
should bring
name.
back? Like Barbara.
Barbara could be the new Karen.
Barbara's been
What
gone
do
for
we
a
got?
while.
There's a lot of like white women names that
Deborah.
have been taken out of commission. Bring back Deborah's, Barbara's.
Eileen.
Give me a good one. Eileen is good too. What are some like
Meredith.
Karen
Meredith is a good one. It's like I want to know, like, there's certain names that white women are named that you're like, okay, that's like a person that was born in 1958.
Yeah,
you know?
no. There's
That's a person born before, like, when Jim Crow laws were still in effect. You know what I mean?
I mean, Deborah, Karen,
Bethel.
Bethany.
Bethany? Is that even?
I think. Ethel and Bethany.
Yeah, Ethel.
Sam, you got one for us? You're leaning in.
Damn, someone said Susan.
She's actually
That's your
here
friend.
letting me know that Amaranth
Susan?
is here.
Susan.
And you hear
What,
that?
Wojcinski?
Yeah.
Oh.
Ethan.
Yeah, Amaranth is here, so we're going to move on to our next segment. So here...